Welcome back to the ITC podcast. We're here with Michael Reynolds, the soft Y, instead of Reynolds.
We have to share a mic. This is going to be really kind of strange, but I'm not going to be able to pick it up. Michael, it's been forever.
It has been forever. So much I feel like has happened. But then when you think about it, it's like, or when you try to like document it, it's not a lot.
Right.
But I feel like things have happened.
Yeah. I don't know how long it's been. Well, since I've seen you, A, or
okay.
B, since you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, I think since you saw me, it was May. I think it was May.
Was it May?
It might have been April.
It might have been.
I wonder if the tornado had even hit before I saw you, actually.
If the what?
Think about it, the tornado, remember? And that was in April. Like the first week of April.
Oh, probably not, because we would have talked about it. I've even forgot about that.
I think, yeah, maybe I haven't seen you. That means I haven't seen you since like March.
I think that might be more accurate.
That's crazy.
Well, it just keeps saying, we got to do it. Okay, we got to do it. Okay. And just,
Yeah,
it's one of those things that it's just, you don't mean for it to happen, but then it does.
Months go by.
And here we are. Summer's almost over.
That really is true. Because last time I saw you, or last time I came over here, I wonder if Nate had just went somewhere or he was talking about going somewhere again. Like
to a concert.
Yeah, I think he was talking about one.
Yeah.
And Brooke, I think one of y'all had to go pick up Brooke.
Yeah.
I think you had to leave to pick up Brooke.
I don't know when that was, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Where she was working at Olive Garden? And
Yeah, she's not working there anymore?
She is, but she doesn't live with us.
Right. Yeah. I think at the time she's
they've been
still
gone for how long? 6 months, maybe? Something like that.
Yeah. Time, it goes by. Time keeps on slipping.
It is hotter than Hades in this room. Are you hot?
I'm not, but like I'm so out of shape. When I came up here, I thought I was, but it was just me huffing and puffing from coming up the stairs.
You want to talk about being out of shape? Look at me,
girl.
Let me tell you,
Okay,
Jeff's flexing. Oh, it's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But girlfriend got off the tracks.
Did you?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, look at me. So we're together.
No, I mean it's. Well, anyway, I'm getting it back. We're going to have you gone to Hot Works?
We're okay. I feel like every other day there's a new gym. What is this?
You don't know about Hot Works?
No.
Do you like to sweat it out during your workouts?
Wait, is it like, okay, what kind of sweat out though?
It's like a sauna. It's like you work out in a sauna.
I love that, but I would be dead.
It's addictive.
I'm sure it is.
I mean, it's addictive
because you feel rewarded.
But it's the way they have it set up. So you go and you sign up and they immediately lock you into the technology. So it's 24 hours. You get in with the app, right, with the door, once you remember, and then it keeps track of everything and you do everything on the app. So right now, 24 hours a day, everything, they've got 8 saunas. Some of them have, you can do anything from the cycle, right, the bikes, to the row machines, to hot yoga, to stretching, there's all kinds of different ones. Mm-hmm. But it's 15 minutes and that's it because it's HIIT. So 15 minutes. So you schedule it for 15 minutes on your phone. Like I could do it right now if I saw. I'm like, okay, at 8:45, I want to go over there and do it. I usually do a couple in a row, but it's HIIT. So it starts that afterburn. Like once you do the 15 minutes, it'll say, okay, complete that session. You burn 127 calories. Then you hit the afterburn and I come back here and I sit for an hour. And when that's up in an hour, it's like another 270.
But they're all not 15 minutes.
Okay,
so the cardio ones are like the rowing, the bike, and then there's a I forget what they call it, but it's called a blast, but it's kind of like an elliptical, but it's a bike mixed with elliptical. So you're biking, but your arms are going at the same time.
Okay.
Those are fast. There's, like he said, stretching, yoga, Pilates. Those are like 45 minutes.
Okay, but wait. Explain the structure of like is it all in one room and they keep it up that like it's different rooms?
No. It's different rooms. There's 8 saunas.
Okay, so that means there's 8 rooms?
There's 8 rooms.
3?
There's 3 people. Like you can sign up for a class and there's room for 3 people. Okay, so you get on the app, you say, I want to do the rower at 7, and you sign up, and then there's a little thing, there's 3 spots, and then your spot's taken up. So if somebody else schedules, then you'll see, you know what I'm saying? So you could be in there with the maximum of 3 people. But I've never been in there with anybody other than Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Select it, and it'll show you only 3 people can get in.
It's pretty cool. But like I said, you can schedule it to the way that you're the only one in there.
Okay.
Because the rooms are kind of small.
Okay, gotcha. That's interesting. So, well, when what I'm like envisioning is just being like a hot area that people work out in, like, but you're in different rooms. Okay, I mean,
99% of the time, I'm all by myself,
yeah. Okay.
unless we go together.
So
And
explain,
there's a weight room in the back that's not in a
that's
sauna.
not. Oh, okay.
It's not huge. It's got like a bench. It's got the cables, and it's got kettlebells, and they've got all of the
free weights and stuff.
free weights. It's in
Okay,
the,
so
like,
is
brook.
it like what is the building like? Is it kind of like small, like an Anytime Fitness type of thing?
It's right beside Best Buy. You know where the smoke shop is?
Oh
over
yeah,
there?
yeah.
It's right beside it.
Wow.
You can try it. It's
Okay.
addictive though, and you come out of there feeling like
Yeah, you do. You know, I actually just saw a study. I know that I could pull it up to read to you all here, so that like in a way that like it's not like super annoying. I can find it. But like I follow this woman that I found from Joe Rogan, Dr. Rhonda Patrick. I don't know if y'all remember her. I love her. So like on Twitter, she just posts so much good information and in like a very condensed format, like just through threads. But just yesterday, she posted this. She said, sauna benefits are dose dependent. It lowers all-cause mortality, so 40% lower in people that use a sauna 4 to 7 times a week, and 20% lower all-cause mortality in people that use a sauna 2 to 3 times a week. A general guideline, shoot for 20 minutes at 174 degrees Fahrenheit 4 times a week. But I mean, like they've been talking about this for a long time to where it seemed like it was a little bit of fringe, but now there's actually like peer-reviewed evidence that supports, the science supports all these things people have been saying for a while.
Oh, there's so many benefits.
Yeah, and when you leave, it's releasing all them endorphins, the heat shock proteins, or whatever they say, and stuff like that. Just like the same thing with the cold plunge, is they're saying that like I can't remember the exact science behind it, but I don't know if it's like a release of concentration or focus or endorphins or something like that. But Dr. Huberman was saying that like a cold plunge, in terms of like the efficacy of like how long that feeling lasts, it's like it's not higher than anything else than a
the
cold plunge.
dopamine.
It's dopamine. Okay.
The dopamine. I mean, the dopamine hit. That's what they're saying because I love Huberman.
Okay.
I love
he's
Huberman.
great.
He's
great.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're talking about that. It's like the dopamine rush that people get off of. I don't know. Did they use the example of cocaine, or am I just thinking about that? I just read something on Twitter that I'll go over in a minute, but about that. But it's like the dopamine lasts like hours instead of like most things. When it hits your dopamine, it's seconds to minutes.
Okay.
But it like gives you like that boost of energy for hours after you get out of the cold plunge.
Yes. Okay. No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's incredible. And then that, like factoring that back into, or not back into, but into ADD, because obviously what's really cool is that we have it documented, my journey of getting diagnosed with ADD, which is really cool. I need to like go back and listen to the things that I was saying prior to like now, because the one thing that I think that's really beneficial to me is understanding the physiology behind being diagnosed with these things, because people just saying like you're ADD or you ADHD, it means you can't focus or you're super hyperactive or whatever like that. But I think what helps the effectiveness of treating that, like personally, is understanding what is going on in your body. So understanding that, like, you know, a high protein diet helps. Like, you know, when you eat a whole bunch of carbs, it's actually, you're not getting the thing like the mineral or the vitamins that you are lacking due to what happens in ADD folks or whatever. Like, so having zinc, magnesium, I think there's another one or whatever, but that contributes to greater attention efficiency. Yeah, because we're deficient. Yeah. Anyway, lots of that stuff.
That's interesting. How's it going?
I mean, right now I'm off the wagon, because the best thing you can do for ADD is to eat well. Which, I mean, obviously when I say eat well, I'm not going into the specifics, but you want to have, I think like high protein diet is shown to be very effective for people with ADD. Getting sleep, and I don't get a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
So when you're doing those things that are counteractive to it, it then exacerbates the symptoms of ADD or ADHD.
Oh, wow.
Which, like, you know, when you get like a depressive state or like a low state, what do you want to do? You want the comforts of all the bullshit. So I want to go and eat McDonald's and then go home, get on the bed, watch a show. And that's like the exact worst you can do, because then it like draws you further into it.
And that's that kind of the same. I mean, I'm not ADD, but with going through menopause, it's kind of the same way. It's kind of the same way. you get into this state of mind. You're just like, whatever, just give me all the foods, give me all the things. I'm going to sit here. I don't want to move. I don't want to work out. I don't want to do this. I'm fine. I'm just going to be fat and happy the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And you get into that mindset, and then you have all these other symptoms that you're dealing with, and that makes you even more down. Like, why is this happening? Like, for instance, today my mouth has been burning and throbbing all day. And I'm telling you, you look it up, everything is a freaking symptom of it. And I'm just beginning, right? Yeah. So I understand, and that's where I fell off too, which, yeah, I did put on belly weight because of menopause. That's scientifically proven that happens. But I have been eating like an asshole. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a comfort.
Right. Which I've straightened it up in the past, couple months. I have straightened it up, and I'm back to kind of eating the way I did before and working out more with going to the hot works, which I do, like, which I didn't think I could do, because when you are going through menopause, I'm all, like, right now you see me fanning myself, I'm pulling my shirt out, I'm burning up. It's so hot. So I thought, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So when we were going to check it out, he let me try a class. He said, try it. You're not locked in there. I mean, it's not a prison. You can come out, if you need to. And I didn't think I would make it 5 minutes. And I did make it the whole time. Did I stop the workout and rest a second? Absolutely. Which is the good thing, because you can go at your own pace. I mean, there's camera, there's a video led class, but you don't have to do what the video is doing. I don't do what the video is doing half the time. But surprisingly enough, I did make it through, and I haven't had to quit, except for that one day that I had drank some the night before, and I was a little dehydrated. I was like, God, I gotta just go.
No, I get it. I completely get it.
Yeah.
But yeah. And well, here's the thing too, is there's another study with her. I don't think that I favored it, but she was talking about, the importance of exercise, and that, like, when it comes to something that, because I think what a lot of people like to do is they're like, oh, well, it doesn't matter that I ate this or that, I exercise. And, we all know that when it comes to losing weight, it is 80% diet.
Absolutely.
And the rest is so
you should be saying, I ate so well today that I really don't need to work out as hard. That's what you should be saying, because it is mainly diet more than, I'm not saying don't work out because you eat well. I'm just saying, people do say, oh, I had, pizza, but I'm going to go work out. No, it should be the other way around.
Track your calories.
Okay.
When you're working out and when you're eating, and tell me that it's enough to just work out, because it's not. Because you go over there and you'll burn, if you don't work out during a day, good luck burning 500 calories and just one trip to McDonald's. So, yeah, it's diet. The working out you got to do.
Yeah, and
that's even more for just your health and your mental health for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I go over there during the day for a 50-minute session when I'm super stressed, when I'm working at home, and I go, I got to do something just to get my brain to stop.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll go do that, and it just feels, when you walk out, it's just like your body releases something. It sucks when you're doing it. Mm-hmm. When you walk out, your body releases.
Sometimes it sucks when you're doing it. Like,
sometimes it's great.
Get into the flow of like going consistently. Like today, I'm mad at myself because I have gotten off the wagon for a while, and then finally this week I was like, all right, Monday we're at it, and then today it was just like, I think when I start doing something new, and then I'm like also trying to be more strict with my streaming, because I've been a little inconsistent for like this past month. I've streamed the least amount that I have ever in a month since I've really gone full time. So like, I was like, oh, I'm doing all these things starting Monday, and then what's weird is like, I feel like a baby. Like, when babies get overstimulated and like they're up too late or something like that, like then it's like impossible to go to sleep.
Right.
So that's always me. When I get overstimulated, I just don't go to sleep. So then I woke up tired in the morning. I was like, I can't go to the gym. I'm just not gonna be able to get it in.
Yeah.
So it's irritating, but I don't know. But like getting back in the routine, it feels great, but it takes time.
It does. And I think that for me, at least, even though, okay, so I've been back to working out for a couple of months now. And I've lost 10 pounds or something like that. It not that it's a great amount, but what it does for your confidence is amazing. Because when I'm down, I don't know if it's just me or if this is a normal thing, but whenever I'm not confident, it comes out in my relationships. I want to like just go into a turtle shell. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Whether you're talking sexually or just how I dress, how I feel, you know what I mean? You can tell when I'm not confident, because I will go multiple days in a row and like just put my hair in a ponytail. Now it's in a ponytail today. That doesn't mean I'm not confident. I mean, of course it happens, but I'm just saying, like, when you feel confident about yourself, even if your
You move
body hasn't
differently.
changed that much, you move differently. And just going to work out does something to you to make you feel a little bit confident, like, hey, I'm doing everything I can to combat this. That's what, when I first started going through this, I didn't feel like I was doing everything I could to combat it. Because not only was I going through the menopause and taking some medications that make me gain weight, but I was also eating bad and not working out. Well, if I can at least control and do what I can do in the areas that I can, it's like, so eat well and go work out, that makes you feel good about yourself. I'm doing all that I can do. I can't fight
when you're working
my body
towards
like
something, there's some kind of fulfillment.
Right.
involved.
I can't fight with scientifically happening to my body. I can't. I can take supplements. I can do this. I can do that, which I got to get that under control, and I haven't yet, but at least I'm doing way overweight.
I get it. Girl, I be trying to. But one thing I think that would be worth talking about or exploring is what makes us get off track and like how we're able to combat that. Because I will say this is the first year that I really had were those New Year's resolutions, and I was like, I'm getting this under control. Like, I'm going to be transformative this year. And it started off really good. January, February, March was good, and then that fucking tornado hit. And when that tornado hit, I didn't have power for like a week. So like so many things were fucked because I had just got that Tesla. So I had to like make my charge last. I ended up using like the charge up there, like the supercharge, but so many things were compromised. My routine that I had built. But what was crazy is that I did have some slip ups in those 3 months and I was able to be very resilient and get back on it. I was like, what? This is the first time, and I'm proud of myself that I'm able to just get back to it. Like I can like maybe have a cheat day that ended up being 3 days, but then I like talked to myself and I was like, all right, you're back, bitch, and I was back. But then that tornado fucking hit, and for that fucking week afterwards, it fucked me. And I've just been on and off since.
Right, and that kind of just happened to me. I was doing really well, and then I just told you we went to the beach. We went to Hilton Head, me and Avery and Brooke and Carter, and stayed a week. Now, while I was there, we did do some walking and stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but I burn a lot of calories at the beach. Like, I wear my watch all the time that tracks how many calories you burn. I don't know if it's walking in the sand or if it's the heat. I don't know what it is, but I burn way more calories there.
Movements. It
has to be. More. But when I came back from that, I haven't been on the routine like I was before I left. So that is true. Anything, especially for me, because I'm a habitual person. I'm a creature of habit, and I know a lot of people are. So it's so easy for me to get out of habit. Mm-hmm. So easy. Yeah. But when I'm consistent for a while, it's hard for me to break. Mm-hmm. So that's my problem.
Well, you're habitual, and I think the big
emphasis on bitch.
He did habitual.
You're habitual. But I think too, like there's a difference between obsessed and discipline, right? Like when you were like doing it for a career or doing it every day and it was all you focus on, you were obsessed with it. So it was easy. Now it's got to be disciplined to do it. It's not an obsession anymore. So, you know what I mean? Like people say, that person's so disciplined, that's what they love. When you love something, it's not discipline. It's freaking, you love it. Like you can't wait to get there. And I think that's the difference, because when you're obsessed with it, it was like, it didn't matter where we went. Everything else sacrificed to get to a gym. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's a little different.
However, I didn't really have the distractions that I have now, like a desk job and a granddaughter and all that kind of stuff. So I got totally, like you were saying, what makes us get off track. Yeah. For me, that's what it was. I switched jobs and I sit all day, and then the granddaughter came along. Well, she's 3 now. We're getting that all worked out. But my life kind of got disrupted, and it shook me a little bit. So and then like I said, I get out of habit, and then boom, I'm done. So I'm not training professionally anymore, people, as my career. Yeah. So it's just like I'm a little more lax because I feel like I don't have to be as in pristine shape, because I don't, I'm not trying to help people lose weight anymore or get in shape or whatever it is. Even though I still have the knowledge and I know how to do it. If I'm not practicing what I preach, then So that's kind
I would love to find someone. I want like a case study of someone who is like constantly just like things are changing or like they're just high stress. But really, that's me assuming that someone does not have it together and is able to remain disciplined with working out. I'm like painting them to be like a unicorn that doesn't exist. But
Right.
when you think about all these like highly successful people that still manage to like factor that into their life, I don't know what it is that they're on that like is not like clicking for me. But then again, at the same time, when I get on it, I think what I need to start telling myself is when something is happening that may be outside of my control, or I don't know, that like I need to just still do something that equates to working out, whether or not it's like, okay, well, you need to go at least walk for 20 minutes today.
Yes.
Because that's going to keep the habit alive or keep the discipline there, even if it doesn't seem like it is working out. But it's like, it's a part of the same like ritual.
Right. That's how I kind of started when I got back into it. I was really bothered because I have a desk job and I don't move. So I made this little challenge for me. I haven't been doing it. Maybe I need to get back to doing it. Maybe that would inspire me back up. But every hour, and because I have a job not everybody has a job where they can do this, but I'm basically their only employee. They're very fitness minded people. There's a gym in our office. So they loved me doing this. Every hour on the hour, I would set my alarm and I would get up and we work on the 4th floor. So I would do a lap on the steps all the way down, all the way up. Then I would go into the little gym area and I would do a 1-minute plank. No. No. I started out at like a 20-second plank and worked my way up to a minute. And then I did a minute wall sit. I did that every hour on the hour.
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
Just this is funny.
No, bitch. You laughed when she said 20 seconds.
She did. She never did.
I want you to get down plank right now. Get down, bitch, and plank right now.
You did. You raggedy no good bitch. You not
I got a timer right here. I made a mistake. I didn't plank for a minute. But 20 seconds was, if you haven't planked in a while, try it.
Yeah, girl, no, I am with you. I'm with you.
But I did that every hour on the hour. And actually, you don't know this part. I had a little scare. And this is what made me open my mind. I had a little scare. Okay. So this is my stupid doctor. I don't like him very much. Anyway,
Lay it out.
I have a little heart murmur and he's freaking out. He's like, you got to go get an echo. No. Well, I don't have health insurance. I can't just go get an echo because I have a little murmur. My mom has a murmur, my grandma, my aunt, I'm not having any symptoms, but my blood pressure
is high.
Was high. Well, I figured out my blood pressure was high because I had to go to the girly doctor. Okay. And if you are working in a doctor's office, do me a favor. Don't weigh people before you take their blood pressure. Okay. Take the person's blood pressure because we're already anxious about being there. Then when they put me on that scale and I saw the number, I literally felt my heart beating out of my chest. And then they go take my blood pressure and it's like freaking like 190 over 106 or something crazy.
Yeah.
But I came home and for days it was high. So that freaked me out.
But you are naturally a very anxious person.
I am.
High strung.
Yes,
you are.
I am.
So like that makes sense because you were probably dwelling on it. You were ruminating.
Oh, I was. So, but here's the funny thing. So my doctor pulled me in his office and he was like, I'm really kind of concerned about your blood pressure. That door just opened by itself. Mother effer.
Girl, it did.
That door just opened by itself. I think something, those clothes just fell over and pushed it open. But anyway, he said, get your blood pressure under control. He said, even losing 5 pounds will get it under control. Mm-hmm. And when I started doing that hourly thing and also isometric exercises brings it down too, like the planking and the wall sits. After I did that for about a month, I lost the 5 pounds and boom, it's great. My blood pressure is great. So that kind of put me into like, okay, I need to do something about this because that scared me to death.
Yeah.
I'm 48. I don't want to be having a heart attack.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, I want to figure out like how to get in control of my mental, but sometimes it's like the stresses are like so enormous that it just like, it's like so hard to overcome them, to overcome like the, what is it called? Like, I don't know, your gumption to do anything. Because also too, I don't want to like set up an excuse for me due to my ADD or my condition. I really don't. I'm not trying to be that person, that type. But I can't help but I start thinking about my diagnosis and the science that I have researched on, because people with ADD, they are naturally, dopamine deficient and serotonin. So dopamine is your motivation. So, because like there are some days, and I part of me wondered if I had bipolar at some point, but I've been paying attention to my my trends and how I get into certain situations mentally, and it makes sense to me. But with that dopamine, there are some days where it's like, God damn, like everything is fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
Or I'm just like dragging ass. Like today, like I said, I didn't get that much sleep, but like when I woke up, I was like, fuck, everything is hard to do. I don't want to do anything.
Yes.
Like it's just hard.
Yes.
And I'm like, because it's like, I want to know really what physiologically holds me back versus what mentally, because I think that some of us have a hard time with holding us to high expectations, and then when we don't meet those expectations, we're hard on ourselves.
Oh yeah,
and I definitely am,
Me
because
too.
then it'll just like drive me further down into not wanting to do something.
Absolutely.
But what helps is when I know like what is out of my control, and then what can I work to get things in control. But I think at the end of the day, like if I were doing all things I was supposed to do, having a well-balanced diet, making myself get sleep, making myself work out, I'm naturally reducing the things that have me that like increase the symptoms of ADD.
Right.
So there's my answer.
Yeah.
But but still, it's like there are some people that don't have to do that.
Right.
They don't have to worry about that.
But they have to worry about something else, probably.
Yeah.
Just quit being soft.
Tell them to shut the fuck up.
Pull it together, man.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Done. Pulled together.
Just kidding. I understand. I get it. I get there's a struggle internally.
Because we're so similar, and we're in our brain. It's like, because I've been trying to explain to people a different like side of this, or just a different way of thinking about it, is that we're burning up. There's only so much energy, mental and physical energy. There's some kind of like, you put them into one category or one container, and you only have 100 marbles of all energy in the day. The amount of like thinking is like that happens in my brain all fucking day is crazy, to where it exhausts me, where I'm like physically exhausted. I'm like, okay, I need to just get in the bed and just chill, because I have to like just recoup. I have to re-energize. Kind of like, I think, because sometimes I'm worked into becoming an introvert due to with what I do with streaming and all that stuff, and trying to be, play good at the game, and then also trying to like communicate with everybody that comes into the stream, that like it takes so much of my social battery, like that then for the rest of the day, I'm introverted, because I'm like, I need to fucking recoup.
That makes total sense.
So I feel like the same thing happens with like my overthinking about certain things, or just things that happen in a day, that then I'm just like, I am paralyzed.
And that's actually like, I had a conversation with somebody that was like, we had that conversation. I don't think we podcasted about it, but it would have been good, because it was like, do you know what an introvert is, an extrovert? And I thought I did. And then he goes, no, I'm an introvert. And I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, I go to parties. I talk to everybody. I'm lively. I have fun. He said, but then if I don't go somewhere and totally be recluse and recharge, that's an introvert. You've got it. You can't. I guess an extrovert can just do it, and it doesn't drain them at all. Like me, it kind of can. But like you said, my brain, I think that's the thing too, is men, we don't talk about the things you think about when you're walking around the house, right? I can't believe I just did. But even like playing golf, when I'm taking lessons or I'm working on my game and I'm playing with guys, I played with a guy recently. It's like, the thing is with me, I have no swing thoughts, which means when you're swinging the club, you're not thinking about anything. I'm thinking about everything. From the time I take the club back, I'm thinking about my elbows, my wrist, my knees, my hips. Yeah. Literally, it's making my game worse. He's like, you can't think about it. I'm like, how? My brain is going 100 miles an hour from the time I touch the club to the time and even coming down, I know that I've got something wrong. You know what I mean? it's just, it's weird how your
Yeah.
mind is like way ahead of you.
I think so. Like there was someone that was saying, I can't remember who it was. I mean, I'll just, you know, a lot of what I'll do, I'll get on Twitter and then I'll get lost in it, and it makes it worse because I'm just getting so much information and it's working my brain. It's like kind of taking whatever ingredients there are with like your, like, you know, your focus and your attention on stuff that it requires for you to be functional with certain topics or just getting things done. I feel like, you know, with the information that I'm consuming from Twitter, it like it robs it. It's hard to explain it.
It robs it.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that? I literally, we consciously scrolling on some Twitter or somewhere and reading something. And in my mind, I go, you're creating stress for yourself because you know you shouldn't be doing, like, you've got stuff to do, man. Like, you shouldn't even be touching this phone right now. What are you doing? You're going to be anxious later because of this moment.
Yeah.
But you still, it's like a barrier where you're like, it's hard to be disciplined. Like and I mean, I'm trying to relate it to the working at, like, just saying, I just need to go work out. I was joking about being soft because you could say that to me about these things.
Of course.
It just depends on, and some people say, well, it's not a priority. Yeah, it is. But it is a real thing. Like when you've got ADD, and that's what was magical about taking medicine, going, this is what normal people are like.
Yeah, but even then, when I'm now on medication, it's like I don't have that.
You lose the intensity.
I mean, right? Yeah, because I remember
when you
I
first start,
I was like, bitch,
this is magic, baby.
Whoa, Jesus!
I start everything and I finish everything.
Yes.
But then your body catches up with you, and it kind of.
Yep. I've switched from, because with my doctor, she was just giving me extended release all the time. And I was like, girl, I think maybe if I could have some regular ones too, that because like sometimes my work hours are so long, like I'll like wake up at like 8 and then I'm going until 11 or 12 at night sometimes. So I was like, can I just have like a regular release too that I could probably pop around like, I don't know, 1 or 2 that'll get me to the end, you know? And that there was a difference there, but I don't like to always do it because I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just making me become dependent.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, it's all interesting. I don't know.
I mean, I don't have the ADD, but with like the anxiety and the medication I take, I actually want to come off of it, to be honest, because I feel like it's making me feel, what's the word? Not numb. I do feel, but I don't feel any extremes. Like, I don't feel like extreme happiness or extreme sadness. I don't want to feel extreme sadness, but it's just like, it's just weird.
It's
has weird.
You consistent.
Yeah, but I'm just consistently like, So I feel like some of my relationships are like might not be as vibrant as they should be. I mean, not just with Jeff, but with like the kids or like even at work. I'm just like, you know, it doesn't really mimic ADD. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just like I can't focus sometimes.
Well, it's an SSRI, right?
Right.
So, I mean, like, it's doing something. It's changing how you operate mentally and how you mentally function. So,
and I can testify to that because I've seen her, like, it's totally, like you said, you're like, like things you'll let go that you used to be like, boom, 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 boom. You lost that, and I'm not talking about anything particular. I'm saying it could be, I don't know, me putting my bag on the counter. Like, used to be like, you know, can you like put that in your office or put some there? And then I could leave it there for 4 days and she won't even mention it.
Oh,
like, she won't
so
even.
You're like, oh, now I can get by with this.
No, I'm like, she just doesn't notice. It's like, does she notice or does she just, it's like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me anymore. Like, and she never nagged at me. It was never like, get your crap out of here. It was just like, I like, you know how like the counter, like clean, like, can you put it, or can I put it here? Like, she's always respectful of like, I'm not going to like dump your bag out on the floor and start kicking your stuff everywhere. But it's like, can I put your stuff in the closet for you? Or can you put it in where you want it? Cause it's just cluttery. And now it's like, I could just dump stuff out on the counter and be like 3 days later, I'd be like, she didn't even notice that there's cereal on the counter.
Are you saying that I'm not clean anymore? Is that what we're saying?
Oh, shit. No, see, now you took it there.
I know. Well, but listen, if you went out on our back deck right now, for a prime example, I walked out there the other day to drink coffee and I said, this is not my deck. What the heck?
Why is it messy?
Oh, because Carter's here, right? And she's 3. So she's messy. Normally, which is fine. I want her to be that. Because that's what a 3-year-old is. They thrive on being, let her be. But I would normally, like a neurotic person, as soon as she left my front door, cleaning it all up and get my deck back. I'll sit here with it. And that's not me, though.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing these things, and I'm like, golly, I don't really like I don't want to be, I don't want to be anxious, but I want to feel like extremely excited about something or extremely happy about it, because I have stuff to be happy about, and I am happy.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Well, do you talk to your psychiatrist about these things?
I don't go to the psychiatrist, buddy. I go to that stupid doctor I have.
Okay, well, then maybe you just talk to your doctor and say, hey, explain that, because maybe you could just like dial it back a little bit, and maybe that could be, because maybe like it's too high. That's a symptom of it being too high, possibly. I don't know.
You know what, though? You guys are saying the exact same thing.
Are we?
Yeah, you're saying the same thing about like being dependent and it making you feel like, she's saying that doesn't make her feel totally like herself anymore. She's realizing, yeah, it's great to not have to, be as anxious, but I still don't feel like myself.
Okay.
But I think that's part of what made you yourself, was having a little urgency and anxiety. I think that kind of drove you too, made you driven more so, which anxiety came along with it. It's such a balance. It's like,
it is.
You know what I mean? It's like, what's okay? Should I have, like you tell people like, well, people say I shouldn't have to feel guilty. Well, maybe sometimes you should feel guilty, right? Maybe you should feel bad about certain things in life.
Well, the thing is
to make you correct things, or to make you function the way you should function. And I'm not saying you shouldn't take it. I'm just saying I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it also has helped me with a lot of, you remember we talked about my boundary issues?
Yes.
I'm doing a lot better.
Are you?
I am. I did one today.
Tell me.
Jeff just said not really. I am. I'm not perfect. I still need work. It's a work in progress, but I am making progress, because I feel like with feeling kind of like, I'm like, if they're upset, they're upset. You know what I mean? Like but today I did one because I have one of what? No. You can't have my pills. But like I said, I'm not all the way there, but I'm definitely better. So tonight I had Carter. Okay. I keep her in the evenings sometimes because Brooke works at the Olive Garden. So I had her this evening, and the normal thing is I drop her off at 7 with her dad after work. Okay. So Avery, her dad, works for AEP. So he works outside, and he works in the heat, and it's hot today. It was 90. It was like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she said he's really tired. He would really like to just go home and go to bed. Can you tuck her in and put her to bed tonight? Which would mean 8:30. I said, no, I can't. I have plans. Now, this is my plan, doing a podcast with you. Could I have pushed it back? Maybe. Could I have said, let's do another night? Maybe, but we keep doing that. So I said, no, I can't. I have plans tonight. I'm sorry. Michael's coming over and we're going to do this podcast, and I'm sorry, I can't. He'll just have to get up from his nap and take care of her and put her. Well, she asked her sister to do it and she did it. So she got what she needed. But I said, I literally said, no, I can't tonight. I was like,
I'm sure she probably had a pushback. Or
no, she did not.
Well, listen.
She's doing better.
Okay, so
she's
then
doing
how
better.
did that make you feel?
What did that teach good.
You?
It made me feel like if I don't want to do something, I don't have to feel guilty because I don't have some big reason why I can't do it. I just don't want to do that. If it was like Avery had to work late or something, then of course I would do it, because who's going to take care of her?
If it's something that's like it's going to inconvenience me just because you want the convenience.
Right.
You know
exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm inconveniencing him, which, I mean, he works hard. He's a hard worker. I'm not saying that.
We get it.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, no, he can take his nap from 5 to 7, get up for an hour, put her to bed, and go back to sleep. But Maddie ended up doing it. But I did feel good. And no, she does not give pushback anymore. I mean, she's doing way better at that. And she said, okay.
And not taking it personal. Like, because it's not personal.
But I think that's a product of you. I think it's okay to teach people that lesson that, hey, you have to deal with that. You have to deal with the way you feel if I can't do something for you.
Yes.
Right. And we all have that people.
And
I'm
not
a people
take
pleaser.
it personal.
And I've got better in business with that. I haven't as much personally, but business, I'm like, somebody said that the other day. They're like, well, I didn't do this because he has a lot going on. I go, we all have a lot going on. So I got to deal with stress and you got to deal with the stress because you are worried about him having a lot going on. Let him tell you he's got a lot going on and he's not going to let you do it or he's not going to do it for you. But I ask you to do it.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Right.
I needed you to go to him and take care of this. Now I got to deal with it. So it's like, and I used to go, I don't want to bother. I don't want to hurt, and I'm like, now I'm like, no, it's too much stress that's unnecessary. And boundaries are hard. I mean, they're really hard for you. I think they're hard for most people when you care about people. But what I hear the other day, it was like a podcast. I wasn't listening to the podcast, but it was a clip. And the lady was talking about the lessons she learned from horses and dogs.
This sounds familiar.
I
don't know, but it just sounds familiar.
It's, I forget her name. She's a comedian, but she was like, horses and dog will test you and they'll see if you're in charge or not. So they'll nudge you or they'll push you and you have to push back or they will not respect you. And she said, that's people. And she said, I realized that when I started working with horses, that people are the exact same way. And if they learn that they can push you and and you don't respect yourself, then they'll continue to do that until you, and if you set the boundary, they will respect you. Just like people that, the kids that are given everything, because we were talking about that today from a dealership owner whose kids just get away with murder. Well, they've never had any boundaries, right?
Yeah.
They've been able to, so they treat everybody that works for them, everybody around them like crap because nobody taught them respect.
Yeah.
And without boundaries, you don't learn respect.
Yes. I appreciate boundaries. Like, I mean, as you know, we talked about this and I'll state them. I deal with like some issues with with the structure of like having my editing team. I have like a team of 3 people. One, he just kind of like does like managerial stuff. So he like sends an email out every morning that kind of just like keeps us on track and says what everybody's doing and what like the agenda is for the day. And then the other one is like he has a lot of experience like with high quality edits. And then there's my editor that I had for several years that got into this because, we also kind of streamed alongside of each other. And then he was like, I need to like help you do this stuff because you don't do this stuff. So it's all of us. But, a lot of them, they're like substantially younger than me and I don't want to diminish what experience they have in life, but they don't have the same life experience as me. I know that I have substantially more with all the traveling done, with all the schooling that I've done, and with having the career before this too. So like I'll try to, I'm pretty lenient too. And sometimes like I don't want to like crack the whip because I do have a little bit of fear that like they could just leave. Right. But there's a reason why they're with me. And I always need to like remind myself of that because I know that I treat everybody good and that I go out of my way to make sure that like they understand that I'm very appreciative of them and that I try to make everything like the environment as best as I can.
Right.
But, with that, like if you don't nip something in the bud immediately, like, because there are always situations that can occur that like you're like, this is frustrating, but I don't know how to say it because it can seem like you are doing something and there's a valid reason why I can't get in touch with you right now. But, now this is happening several times.
Yeah.
So what the fuck, like, for example, hopefully he hasn't listened to it. But if you do, hey, I'd say it to you anyway. But one of them, he's in like a different time zone, but like, it's like I can never get in touch with him sometimes. And then he'll sleep because he's a lot younger. He's like 19.
Right.
So he'll be up all night one night and then the other day he'll be on it and like he'll be up early. But I'm like, in order for us to succeed, you're going to have a lot of sacrifices because it's just going to take that. It's going to take a lot of sacrifices of you not getting sleep, of you like, trying to get back to me so we can figure something out. And then once we make it, all this will matter. But if you're only half-assing it, and then like it's going to stretch this process out to where it's not going to be done. And then all of the partial sacrifices that you provided are going to mean nothing.
Right.
And so it's like, anyways, getting back to the point of like the boundaries and expectations, because boundaries is a part of expectations, right? Like I feel like it's kind of like a leg of
100%. Yes.
and so it kind of gets like, muddled. But even me being the person I am, I still struggle under certain circumstances with it. But once I feel like that we're all on the same page with boundaries, then it's like, then I think you can probably create stable expectations within the relationship.
Right. They're just hard. They're hard to do.
That was long, I'm sorry.
No. I they're hard to do with certain, I don't know, like with certain relationships that I have, I feel like boundaries are hard. And I feel like the hardest boundaries are with my kids. And I don't know what it is. Like when I was raising them, I'm still raising them. They're grown, except for Nate, he's 16. But nonetheless, when they were smaller, I didn't have this problem. I mean, we both were disciplinarians, but I feel like I did a lot of it. I didn't have a problem setting boundaries then. I'd pop them in we had boundaries, but I don't know if it's like where they got older and I feel like they're adults now and they're on their own. The boundaries are hard with my children. They're not hard at work. They're not hard with Jeff. They're not with friends. They can be maybe a little bit, but not really. It's just my kids. And I don't know. I think it's because I just want to do so much for all. I just want everybody to be happy. And so I ignore what's happy for me. And then if I don't ignore it, then I feel guilty. I'm like, well, I mean, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, that's just how I am.
You know what like psychology says and the science of the brain says and behavioral, and I'm not good at it either, but it says those are the ones that know you care and are happier, the ones that are given boundaries. Those are the ones that are happier. They're more solid. They're more, you know what I mean? Like that's
because there's no anxiety of like wondering.
You don't wonder, right? You don't wonder. And when it comes to your business, like when it comes to that and boundaries, I think if you as a leader have a firm like vision and mission for what's happening, you can always go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
We're all together on this. We're all on the same team, aren't we? I mean, if we're not, we need to reevaluate some things. You know what I mean? When someone is not pulling their weight or because, I mean, it's tough to be, because I'm a partner in this agency and I have employees and we interviewed a guy today. And it's like, if they're not on the team, it puts a lot of stress on us, right?
Yeah.
If they're veering off or they think there's some entitlement there,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And you think, wait a minute, I feel like that there's some entitlement.
Yeah,
like you're doing what you want to do when you know there's
mm-hmm.
a clear vision for today and what needs to be done. It doesn't matter how you feel. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Not in business.
God, that is big, that entitlement thing, because
like, what is that? Like, okay, so I don't want to sound old here because I'm what am I? What are these generations? I'm what, Generation X?
You're X, yeah.
I mean, no disrespect, but whatever this generation is that we're currently in.
Oh, here we go.
What is it?
Gen Z.
Z.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Why do they feel so entitled?
I don't know.
Not everyone, not all of them, but like you brought up the sleep. Hold on a second. You brought up the sleep. They're so dead set on, I need so much sleep. Like, why do they need so much? I need sleep too, bitch. I need sleep too, and I'm 48. You're 18 years old. You don't need as much sleep as I do. Get up out of the bed. Go to work. Do something. Stop complain.
I'm going to say this,
okay,
but I think every generation has said this when they get to our age. I think that it's really an age thing.
Yeah,
I do. I think they need more accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And more in your face. I think when you get a little older, right? I mean,
we start understanding. You
start going,
life experience.
I know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then when you're younger, you go, well, I'll do more tomorrow. Or you know what I mean? It's just like, I think that the older generation, probably our parents probably said that about 19 and 20-year-olds.
Yeah. I
back
think
in our day. So like these freaking kids
and now
won't
we
get it
have
together.
The ability to like share like viral
that's
things that were said or all that stuff.
That's funny you say that because last night's podcast that we recorded was just that. What does having social media specifically allow us to do? And that's probably true. So we were talking about, it allows you to I don't know, what did we talk about? Recognize scams or hacks or whatever. But it also lets you put things out there that you wouldn't be able to put out there back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
We said there wouldn't be as many pronouns, or wouldn't be as many race problems. Like, it's just because social media can let you put it out there. So maybe that is true. There's some truth to that.
Absolutely, there is
100%.
Yeah, because there had to be like generational, like infighting.
Yes.
I think prior, but I think now it's exaggerated just because of the because now everybody can be like, oh, I relate to that. Everybody
Yes.
can relate to everything now,
Yes.
and they can share anything.
Right.
And the thing is, with these kids that I have, like, there's two that are 19, and then there's one who's I think he's like 26, the one that's been with me for a while. They are exceptional. One of them, I'm going to say his name just because I want to say his name. And his name is Noah, and he is very good at understanding structure. And he has like this, like, really, what is the word? Like, when it's just like natural. He naturally enjoys, creating structure, and I can see that he's nurtured well. Like, I was going through, because initially we had this thing. Have you heard of Notion before?
Probably not in the sense
Notion is kind of like it's like this website that you can create, like, for kind of like a Google Doc that everybody can like integrate with and have notes for, but it has a lot more diversity in terms of the tools and stuff that you can implement into it. But so we initially were going to use that to keep. I was like, this is a little too chaotic to check every day. Like, it's not like a simple thing to do. So let's try something else. It's like, I think that notes on our iPhone is great. Like, we can do that. It's collaborative. So we started on that. And I was like, okay, now this is getting on my nerves too, because it's just too much, and then we have to delete it, and it's just like all this kind of stuff. So then I was like, how about an email every day? So, like, what's really cool about him is that he's not like another thing. He's just like, okay, this makes sense. I'm like, you'll see in moving forward that you have to just continuously reinvent yourself, or reinvent the thing that you're doing, because every time that we do something different, we're learning, oh, it's better for this reason, and it's better for that reason, but it's not better for this reason. So let's now, do this. And he just grabs it super quickly and is just eager.
Yeah.
The other one that is sleeping all the time, he is exceptionally minded when it comes to his research and his like ability to see trend and to see like science within the industry. Really, like, it's crazy. And I remember talking to him, I was like, y'all are 19, there's going to be a time that y'all annoy me. You're going to do something and you don't understand, and you're probably like one of these things where you hear it from your parents, or you hear it from your parents' friends that, oh, they're just kids. It is a thing. And when it happens, I'm going to make sure I tell you all that this is that thing. And it absolutely is that thing when it comes to, like, oh, just sleep. I just can't get that. I'm like, you have to have control, and you have to know at the end of the day you have these obligations, and that these obligations can't be met if you're inconsistent, because sometimes I'm wanting to have a conversation with him, or I'm texting him and I don't get nothing back until 9 p.m. I'm like, my day is done. My brain is done. About this right now. I can't do this effectively.
Right.
So now that takes the efficiency of everything down percentages.
Right.
So like, how far is, like, where is the threshold in the percentages of efficiency? Like, how far to that threshold to where we're inefficient completely?
Yeah.
So anyway, but they are exceptional. And I think it's just age.
I mean, I guess that's true, because when I think, while you were talking, I was thinking about when I was a teenager, and I did like to sleep, and I did like to sleep in. So maybe I was that at that time. But you know what I saw on TikTok today? No joke. I've seen this 2 or 3 times. I don't know if you've seen this, because I don't know if we're on the same side of TikTok. I don't even know if Jeff and I are on the same side of TikTok. Anyway, it's asking younger kids, and it's normally like both of the times that I watched it, it was like a sports team, like a basketball team of young, like we're talking like high school, maybe college age kids. And they're like, what year did you have to be born to be considered old? Do you know what most of them were saying? Most of them were saying, if you were born in 2000, you're old.
Shut the fuck up.
My daughter was born in 2000. She's going to be, thank you. She's going to be 24. That's considered old. And some of them are like, 2013. Some of them were even like 1999. You're old. You're old. Like, I'm talking, I was born in 76, bitch. So what am I? Like, am I a dinosaur?
You are ancient.
I'm a dinosaur.
Did you know Jesus?
I'm a dinosaur. And Nate even said in the car today, we were driving, I don't even know why we were on this topic. And he goes, I wish I was born in the 80s. And I said, why? He said, I don't know. It just seemed cool. Like, did it really look like that in the 80s? And I said, what do you mean? He said, like, old like that? And I said, well, no, we were in the time.
Yeah.
I said, so 30 years now, you know, from 2024, you don't feel like you look old. Everything doesn't seem old, but it's going to look that way.
Yeah.
But these kids were saying, I don't know, what year makes you old? Like anything before 2000 for sure. Like, I mean, like just, I'm thinking, what?
Mm-hmm.
A 24-year-old to me is a baby.
Is a baby.
An actual baby.
You know what I really am thinking is weird now? Like back in the day, I don't know, you know, like it was considered to be adult whenever, like, you know, they'd say 18. But I am like, the brain scientifically is not done until 25. Is that correct?
It's older.
Is it older?
For females.
Oh, shut up.
I'm not kidding.
Really?
No.
Yes.
Why?
I would need some peer-reviewed evidence.
I'm serious.
We're sharing a microphone. I think that's lies. I heard that women mature way quicker and develop way quicker than guys.
Same.
Some things about women mature faster. It's not their brains.
Okay. See? Why are you? Oh my God.
Here we go.
I know. But no, I'm serious. So like, and I wonder, because that is based on science at the time. But I'm going to be real. It's like thinking about relationships or like just friends that I have and me. Girl, I remember being 25 and I'm like, I was not an adult.
Well, I had a kid by that. I had a kid when I was 24.
Some people's different. It's case by case.
I think it is case by case.
Which is hard in this day and age, but
I'm saying I still kind of felt really young.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like, oh, having a baby young. But I mean, it really wasn't having a baby young, but it is relative. I do 100% believe that, but
I feel like when I was like, okay, I'm adult. I feel like I want to say it was like 28, 29, maybe 29, 30.
You're only, I thought
35.
you were 30 now.
35.
The frontal lobe fully develops at 25. You're correct. Mm-hmm. And that's when you start making good decisions. Like,
okay,
you make not quite very rational decisions when your frontal lobe isn't, if I remember correctly, when your frontal lobe isn't fully developed, like you're more irrational in your decision making.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Because I'll just talk with people. I'm just like, that again. That is a baby.
A baby.
And don't you love when they try to prove that they're not?
Well, that just proves they're a baby.
Yeah,
because you get to my age,
mm-hmm.
I'm 49, and I go,
mm-hmm.
still not that mature.
And they're like at the age too where they're an adult. Okay, so let's say 21, because that's what the age. Because so Brooke just turned 21. Okay, so you're 21, and you wanted to be treated like an adult. I'm 21, or I'm an adult. I want to be treated like. But why are you not acting like one?
Yeah.
Like, it's like there's this fine line between like, okay, you are technically an adult on paper, but you still have this childlike behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you want me to treat you like an adult? Okay, I will, but you don't like it.
Yeah.
You don't like it because I'm treating you how I would treat someone that's way older than 21.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's where I think maybe that's why I have boundary issues with my kids, because I feel like, okay, they are adults,
mm-hmm.
except for Nate. And I think that's where my shutdown is. Like, it's hard for me to treat them like my children. It's so weird to have adult kids. Mm-hmm. So weird, because they still are my kids, but I can't really rule them. I mean, that sounds horrible, but they can't. What am I trying to say? Do you know what I'm trying to say, Jeff? Help me, because I don't know.
I think I do. I think there's also another side to it where you're still a mom, right? And you don't want to, you like, have been a mom for 23 years, 22, so you don't want to let, like, there's a party that's, it's really hard to let go of. You've raised kids, you've helped them with everything. Yeah. They've depended on you for so much, and they still do. But there's a point where, and I think that's like a big deal for, like, I think that's where men and women raising kids together, I think that's why it works so well, because you need, the woman's a nurturer. That's not good for both roles. It's just not. You need a man that's like, get out. You got to grow up. You got to take care of crap. You can do it, and I believe in you. And I know a mom believes in you too, but a mom's always going to be there to be like, we'll do whatever. If you want to move back in, if you want, whatever you need, we're going to, you're my baby. Like, but a man's like, my job is to say, no, you're a man now. You've got to survive, and I'm proud of you for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So why are they more scared of me than they are of you? That's what, and that's a serious. I'm not even joking. Like they're scared. You're a jokester. I can put a fear in them.
What happens when I get seriously, like when I'm really upset though? I mean, that's a different world. Nate won't even come tell me when there's a leak that's running through the house because he's worried about me getting upset. Not at him, just upset.
So I was at Hot Works the other day in one of the saunas, and I was first trying out the 45-minute class. Okay. So I'm at Hot Works and Nate FaceTimes me. I will never not answer my kid's call. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm going to work out. I'll call him back. I'm going to answer. I'm like, what's up? He goes, we got a problem. And I said, what? He goes, a pipe burst downstairs or something, and there's water everywhere. I don't know what to do. I said, Dad is home. He goes, but I don't know what to do. I said, Dad is in the house. Go up there and tell him right now. Why are you FaceTiming me? He goes, I'm too scared. I said, why? Because he's going to be so mad. I said, you didn't do anything. Like, hang up and go tell them there's flood in the basement. Like, he calls me and knowing that Jeff's right up here. Like, what the heck?
Thank God it wasn't anything bad. It was a quick, easy fix. It was just something happened. It was an easy fix, but he's scared to death to come tell me. He's scared to get in trouble. They're scared to death of me. I'm an intimidator.
Oh, Lord.
Nate might be, but the girls are not. The girls know that if,
like, whatever.
Because here's what happens. Like when they were a little bit younger, teenagers, I'd be getting on them about something, and he's over there like joking or making faces, and then they're laughing, and then I get pissed off at all of them. Like I would get mad at Jeff. Like I'm trying to be serious and do something, and they're all joking and laughing. So I don't know where we started with this conversation, but what brought this on? I don't remember what brought this on. But nonetheless, the kids, they were.
I know where we started from.
Where we start from
I'm going to tell you by telling you what I think is the problem.
Okay.
And it'll bring it back. I think what you struggle with having adult children,
yes,
is it is a transition.
It is.
Because one thing that I struggle with so 2 years ago I had a career counselor. Okay. So he's kind of like a psychologist or a therapist, but for career-oriented things. And he was telling me, he's like, I think you struggle with transitions. And I've seen it with like lots of things in my life. I'm like, whoa, I still, like, that was like a profound thing. And I was like, because he was saying, because he was like explaining, he was like taking me through like the day. And this wine has me.
Me too. I'm over here doing the same thing. It's not even fizzy. What is up with that?
Okay, so I'm glad that it's not just me.
I didn't
know
I'm
like getting burpy.
I am too. I don't know what's going on.
Well, so like, okay, for example, we wait for, sometimes with procrastination, you wait for like the feeling that you need to do it now. Like it like really motivates that I need to get this done. That motivation starts making sense when you understand, that, well, for me, when it comes to ADD, and I understand that like I am dopamine, not resistant, but like deficient, as in that's like your motivation. But so I need like sometimes a lot of like that feeling to get things done. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard for me to like just motivate when there's no pressure or something, like to be, what's the word, like proactive. And I guess like with this, it's like, I feel like it causes extra stress with like getting to things on time, like, because I'm always like late. So today I was pretty good, but I was
I know
still late.
I didn't even know you were late, but the doorbell rang and I was like, is that Michael? And Jeff goes, well, it is about 8:00. I was like, but he's usually late.
Yeah.
But what you do,
I'll tell you.
You will. And I didn't hear from you. So I shouldn't have been that surprised.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I think I like pulled up like to park at 8:02. But I just remember him telling me that like, you struggle with transitions because things that you've been telling me, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, so try to like, get there 10 minutes early or 30 minutes earlier for like when we talk about just my stream. He's like, and you'll see a difference when maybe like in that 30 minutes, you're have a transitionary task. So like, just clean up the room and get it situated for the stream and be ready. So like there's no clutter and you can start in like a better mindset and stuff like that. And it really helps. I don't do it ever now. I was on it for a little bit, but I don't really do it that much at all. But when I do it, it does make a difference. So I just think about like, that I apply it to lots of different things in life. And I'm like, oh, this is a transitionary thing. So it's the same thing. Just when anything changes, it's a transition.
I struggle with change, and I do struggle with change. I've always struggled with change. I don't like it. And maybe that is it. Maybe that is the transition issue with me.
Because you still have one child here.
I do. But nonetheless, like Jeff said, even though they're 24 and 21 and 22 or 23, 22, anyway, the three girls, I don't know. It's just weird to have adult children. I can't explain it because I still feel like I need to parent them, but I know I have to like pull back because they're adults and they need to make their own decisions, and I can't punish them for stupid things they do. You know what I mean? So it's just this really weird relationship of I'm still your mom, but I'm also really not in control of you that much anymore. And that's hard for me. And not beside the fact that I have control issues, it's just, I don't know. I can't treat them now how I treated them when they were 10, 12, 13. You know what I'm saying? It's just this weird thing in your mind.
That transition.
And I know I have Nate at home, but he is the easiest child I've ever had, knock on wood. Literally, hands down, by far, the easiest child I've ever had to deal with. And he's 16. He's a teenager. Now, I know there's 2 more. He can get into trouble. But right now, I can tell you on half of my hand how many times that kid and I have bumped heads. Maybe 2 that I can think of. But I did threaten him the other day. We were going out. I was like, we're going to bump heads. This is going to be number 3. And he backs down.
Yeah.
He's just a good kid. I hope he stays that way. You know what I mean? But he really honestly is.
He'll stay that way. He'll stay that way.
Yeah.
I had something to say and I forgot what it was.
Sorry.
It's gone.
It's okay. I get it. I mean, I feel like this applies to so many things in life, though. Like so many things, even for me with like ADD, like there's a transition that happened with that. I always go back to that where people are like, gosh, you just really go to that. I said, but it's fascinating to me because I just didn't know so much about it. Right. I didn't know that like my executive function would compromise. So then it starts to make sense. Oh, you're never on time. Oh, like your room is messy. Your car is always messy. You like all these things. And it's like, yeah, because creating structure is fucking very difficult for me.
Yeah, I get it.
Very difficult.
Well, and then you create the structure, but then you've got anxiety because there's not the structure, right? So you're creating anxiety, and that's what, for me, I figured out, not always great at doing it. I did it on the way home today because I came through and I had no signal for about an hour or more. And then I had messages, like I had voicemails and texts saying, you need to call me. I got to deal with the clients. And I've realized what creates anxiety is when I don't deal with things, right? Yeah. Action cures
our feed
anxiety.
Is the same. It's exactly the same. I have a picture of that quote.
Am I not serious though?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if I deal with it and I do it, it's over. It's over. It's gone. If I didn't call those 3 people back and deal with the things, I didn't want to deal with any of them.
Yeah.
I didn't. All 3 of them were bad calls. They were not fun. They sucked. I still got stuff to do from it. But if I wouldn't have called them, I would have woke up at 4 a.m. Thinking about it, stressed out. What's it really about? Is it what I think it's about? Is it what you know what I mean? It's just like, but I called them back. I dealt with it, and I don't always do that. And I didn't have to. It was 5:30, 6 o'clock. But that's one thing that if I just could make sure I do that all the time is if you just do it, and you act immediately, you literally crush and kill the anxiety from that situation, because not dealing with it just creates.
Yeah, and then you make it habitual to just be executable.
Yes. Yes. And then it's just like, oh, I feel great. Like when I got done with those 2 calls, I just turned the music back on and I was like, okay.
Feel great now.
Yeah, felt great.
Wonderful.
Even though they weren't good calls, but I did what I could.
Yeah.
I dealt with them.
It's done.
Right?
It's done.
And it really isn't, that's the problem with me is I take on, it's not a bad call for me. That's the thing, but I know that they were in bad shape. So it really, really weighs on me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've given them what I sold, or with your car or something happened and you're in it. I just feel anxious until you got it resolved. And I'm like, you know what I mean? It's a weird thing to be that way.
No, I get it. And I think it's the whole analysis process, having anxiety, and maybe it in addition to ADD is we're already overthinkers. And then you add anxiety to the mix. It's a fucking problem. That's difficult to squash. I do know that another thing that's really good to talk about quickly, because I do know the role here.
I love that about you.
No.
I do, because you understand my boundaries.
Yes, I do.
And you respect them.
I do. Of course I do.
I love that.
But quickly, because I know this is going to be one that you all really like to talk about, is like the state of the world today in terms of like the outrage, just the constant drama, the Republican, the Democrat, like all the bullshit. Well, it's like, I wonder if this was, this thought exercise is it's in its infancy. But when that Google thing, when I was telling y'all about how Google,
right,
whatever lawsuit it is, I saw this watching the video. So I haven't really checked into it. But apparently there was a lawsuit with Google and it was found that they are a monopoly in the rule and that they have already appealed it. So I was thinking, I was like, well, duh.
Right.
And well, duh, when it comes to a lot of these companies and you're like, we're like waiting for something to happen. But it makes me wonder, because there's something else going on with X or Twitter right now, whatever you want to call it, in that they saw that there's proof. I think the Judiciary Committee found that there was a attempt to, what is the word? They were trying to blackball them in a way. How would you put this? Like they were working with advertisers so that the advertisers would not work with them in some sort, trying to like, what is the word?
Work with Twitter or X? Like
they were like social media corporations were trying to get advertisers not to work with Twitter. It's called something. I can't remember. And I was listening to it like before I got here, actually.
Blackball. I think
is that the right word?
Blackball is when you, yeah.
And I'm probably saying it incorrectly. But where I'm going with this is this. The conspiracy, okay, I'm not going to
because they don't like Elon? Thing with Elon?
Well, okay. It says right here, the video says Elon Musk X joins Rumble in suing the coalition of advertisers that conspired to boycott Rumble. But in it was saying, they were also trying to boycott X as well. And that makes sense because, Elon was talking a whole bunch about like how a lot of advertisers weren't trying to advertise on there because he was contributing to like.
He's just letting everybody do their thing.
Yes.
And people were like, because the old Twitter was
ridiculous.
You would say something weird. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Just don't follow them.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't feed the beast.
Right.
If you don't like it.
So it was very obvious that these advertisers had to be working together because they just weren't attempting to work with them. So anyway, where I'm going with this and with like Google and all this and why I'm like bringing them up together is that
boycott.
No, is that it makes you wonder with like how outraged everything is if like it almost, here's my conspiracy hat, is that it's almost like manufactured. Because like I wonder, because the politicians, it's like, okay, they can't be fucking stupid. Like it's like when you're up there and you're saying things, the Democrats are people who don't, care about freedom. You know how they get, like they say things like that. Or the Republicans, they're this and they don't care about, they hate black people. And,
right.
It's like very divisive. It is very un-American and you're contributing to a like volatile culture, like a volatile situation within our culture that things can come out of that are really traumatic. Like, when they try to assassinate President Donald Trump, crazy, right? And that is 1,000% due to the rhetoric that has been like just kind of like thrown out from all parties and in the platforms, all that stuff. I feel like there's some kind of like tie-in, and it makes me wonder with this monopolization over social media and like the internet that it has also contributed to the state that we're in today over time.
But it's the divisiveness is the separation and putting people. I heard this today. It's weird that you bring it up, because I was listening to a podcast and the guy was talking about experiments. He's talking about going back all the way to the 50s. It's like lost my voice. I feel weird. But he said they did all the CIA, the FBI, like they've done all these experiments with people to see how the human brain works. And it's funny because it's how our government works. But basically, one experiment, just to give an example, and he mentioned several like this, and they all turned out the same way. It's like, okay, you take a bunch of 12-year-old boys that are at camp, and they're all getting along. Everything's great. They're having a blast. They're doing this stuff. And so what we do is we say, for the experiment, we separate them into two groups. So you're the rattlers and you're the bumblebees. And he said, within no time, the groups bonded immensely with each other within their own groups. Like they bonded tightly, and then they started attacking the other group. They started throwing rocks. They started pulling pranks. They started doing separation, right?
Yep.
You get two groups divided, which is our country, and now we're distracted because we're fighting over stupid stuff, right? It doesn't even mean anything. Like the stuff we're fighting over is meaningless most of the time. Why? There's something going on.
Well, I just feel
all the time.
I mean, I don't mean to be too much of a conspiracy theorist.
Go on.
But it does feel, and here's the thing. I don't know that it was like engineered that like, okay, in some kind of way we're teaming up to do this thing that the end result will be this. I don't think that anyone could assume that it would be this with anything. Like it's like the way that everyone's just always outraged on something because it's become entertainment. Outrage has become entertainment. Cancellation has become entertainment.
Agreed.
Like rallying against someone for like the call for them. And right now, the big thing in like the entertainment industry is everyone's a pedophile right now. Like it is crazy. Like every day, like you're logging on Twitter and it's like, oh, what content creator or what person of this or what it's wow, because it is the most like vile thing. And it's become like there's this like channel. What's this
gets the most attention?
Yes, this name Vitali or something. He was in a porno before or something like that. Now he's this content creator, and what his content is, and I'm like, kudos to this dude, because having you creating a like entertainment program that makes people in a weird way feel bad about a pedophile is that is an achievement. Because what they do is this is what they do. It's all about him going out and setting up a situation where someone was texting an underage kid or something, and then he's trying to do some kind of Chris Manson, huh? You think you follow him?
I think I follow him. I think I was watching the videos the other day.
Okay, and they're just like, they do like weird things.
They destroy him.
They'll like, make them, like one of them, they were like shaving with this guy's head or something, or like.
Nah, I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, it's like crazy, bizarre things where you're like, okay, good things are getting caught. But then it's like after like because whenever something's controversial, it's like it grips you. And then it's like when the dust settles and you start like, there are like cracks in it. You're like, okay, hold up a second. Because when you grip it, you're like, oh, he's finding these people. Great. But then it's like, what are you doing? Because you're not really like, I was this guy named Asmongold, and he was like kind of dissected it. And he was like, I think this is a net negative because they're not getting the police involved and getting people off the street. What eventually happens is they just like, scare them and traumatize them. So what does that really teach them? They have to be safer next time.
Yeah, the guy was watching. He was basically trapping guys, and the cops would come.
Okay. So
like, it was pretty
positive.
Cool. It was pretty cool to watch.
Right.
To watch him totally punish a predator. He'd catch him.
Yeah. Now this is it's not. It's like entertaining. Like they
so
had
this
Akon
guy,
on there, and he was singing.
They're just doing it for clicks.
Yes,
just for clicks.
So it's weird.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's weird because vigilante justice, but like nothing.
There's no justice.
There's no justice. So then it's like weird because it's like now you have me feeling like sympathetic in a way that I shouldn't be feeling sympathetic, and it's like a confusing situation that's kind of like poisoning this thing. It's weird. Anyway,
if it's not justice if the pedophile doesn't die.
Okay. Okay. Well, there we go.
In my opinion, sorry.
There needs to be real justice where the police is like involved or something. But where I'm going with this is that like where all of this is headed or gone to is that it's become like we've taken entertainment and we've made it like we're taking it from a place where it is the entertainment is created, and now we have taken it into like real life where now we want entertainment from someone's demise.
Right. Because before in the past, entertainment was purely in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have reality TV. You didn't have any of this. It was purely movies, sitcoms, dramas, horror movies. It was all make believe. Well, now entertainment necessarily isn't acting, make believe. Now, because of social media, because of TikTok, because of Instagram, all this stuff, now we're entertained by what really actually happens to people.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see that now at the tips of our fingers, just like we were talking about in our past podcast. And I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because that guy would have never really been able to do that if it wasn't for social media.
100%.
Because who's going to sign him? Who's the director? Who's the producer? What network are you on?
Mm-hmm.
You're not on network, bitch. You're on TikTok.
Yep.
Or you're on Instagram or Reels or whatever YouTube. You're your own producer.
Mm-hmm.
So you create the entertainment. And I think that's crazy. I love it because I love watching it. But I mean, I think it's also dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion.
No, I agree. Well, to like kind of tie this back in when it comes to like Google and Facebook and Twitch, Twitter, all this stuff. This thought experiments is in its infancy, but I feel like I'm starting to see threads that connect in a sense that, it's just having a monopoly over this. It's not hard. Just like we saw, I think someone was referencing Alex Jones when he got banned on all platforms in 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, it's
Who's that? I don't even know who that is.
Craziness.
Alex Jones is nuts, but he's entertaining.
Yes. Well, but
he's crazy, but he said a lot of things that actually.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
I mean, he did that in June. He was like, by July 20th, Biden will have resigned.
Mm-hmm.
And it was July 21st.
Okay. Well,
you know what I mean? He was like, he's going to come down with something, COVID. And he's going to resign, and he's going to step down, and Kamala's going to take over.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Well, regardless,
but, I mean, he's done that for 20 years.
Yeah.
But he's crazy.
He says crazy things.
He says stuff that you're like, this guy's a freaking crazy person.
Right. But to stay on task here is that with it was obvious there was some kind of not collusion, but collaboration between the social media giants, because him getting taken down of every single social media site within 30 minutes of each other. How does that happen? That's not a coincidence at all.
Not at all. Not
right.
At all.
And then when we learn through the Twitter files that the FBI and even members of Congress or whoever was working with social media companies to create this like almost like template of getting people kicked off, or like of how they should create the terms of conduct on their platforms or whatever, terms of service, in a sense that like if you talk about anything about the COVID vaccine during that scare, people were getting their reach limited and banned, all that stuff, right? So we have that. That is proof from the Twitter files, proof. Right. And so with that, it's like it doesn't outright tangibly say, okay, there's some system that exists that there's some communication between them.
Oh, there 100% is.
But it kind of proves that there is.
There is.
There's a thread.
It's funny that you say that, because back when 2020 or whenever COVID was strong, vaccines were being pushed. I was on TikTok a lot and I was doing a lot of lives. And one of my lives, I was talking about the vaccine. I got shut down.
Really?
And I got, what was the word? Banned wasn't the word, but my lives got shut down. I couldn't go live for I was in jail. What was it called? You remember when I was sitting right at the table down there and I was talking about like how I didn't really agree with the vaccines. I didn't really want to do it. And then boom, I was shut down. So you can't tell me that it's not something going on like that.
Oh, well, without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like moderation tools
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Whenever you say keywords
Yep.
or when you type keywords or
Yep.
whatever. Because right now there's like something when I stream on TikTok, if I say rival platforms like Twitch, because they had a problem where a lot of Twitch streamers will start streaming there for the reach, and they'll say, come over to my Twitch stream. So when you say Twitch, it triggers something algorithmically that starts limiting your reach.
See, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I just wish
yeah.
something was pure.
I
There's
know, yeah.
nothing pure anymore.
Because they want
nothing
to limit. They want people to stay on their site or
Yes.
program as much as possible. Because even whenever you like attach a link to a post on Facebook or Twitter or
Yes.
anywhere, it reduces
Yep.
distribution.
And that's why they want the monopoly.
It works in some weird way because they all agree to it too.
Well, yeah, because anything that profits isn't pure. You have an interest to make sure that you profit. And if your rival is something else, you're going to attack it. Right? I mean, if you're TikTok or if you're Instagram and somebody's talking about getting with another competitor, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You do anything in your power to keep them from doing that. You know what I mean?
Well, you want to essentially remove competition amongst your peers.
Yeah, you want
to. So, like, you can see it's radically different from Twitter, where they're like, "Oh, well, we're not really."
No, they kind of let you do what you want to
so
do.
Then now you're disrupting this like unspoken thing,
right?
Amongst all platforms, we don't like that,
right?
Because now
we're supposed to all be on the same team.
Yeah, it's reducing the control that we have over our users.
No, Elon Musk is completely about just free for like. People get to do whatever they want to do and talk about whatever they want to talk about.
Wish I could have a baby with him.
I heard, I don't know if this is true.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that he dislikes The View so much that he's going to buy it and fire them.
That would be so fucking hilarious.
I heard that somewhere. I can't remember where it from.
I would fucking die.
But I heard that he was going to buy The View and fire the bitches.
I would fucking die.
And hire other people.
Could you imagine?
Hire us. 3 of us. Right now. We got this.
Wouldn't he have to buy like the network though?
Yeah, I would die. That'd be so fun. That would be hilarious.
That could be fake news, but I know I heard that somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I've planted an idea. I don't know.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
That would be so great.
There's something about, I used to like The View back in the day, but now it's like just so captured.
Oh,
whenever you hear like keywords, you're like captured.
Yes.
Like this, yeah. Like biggest thing that I'm so glad we can now say openly without being in trouble, because isn't it so weird? Like the whole agenda of saying it was okay for children to decide whether or not they were trans, and then go through the surgery and all that stuff. Children can make that decision.
No, thank you.
I remember I was just like, but I remember I was like, I can't talk about this, because there was a time we could not talk about it.
Right.
We could not, or we would be seen as like transphobic or whatever phobic.
I would have always talked about it. I don't think I ever remember not saying they're freaking should be put in prison. They should be executed.
Socially, it's like we get it,
I'll
like
tell
on a
anybody.
platform, it was like we're just not talking about all this stuff right now.
Yeah, on a platform.
Yeah,
they shut you down.
Yeah,
which is sad that people don't have common sense. That's common sense.
Yeah, but I will say,
you don't let your kid drive your car.
Exactly.
You don't let your 6-year-old drive your car. You gonna let them drink whatever they want. You gonna let them eat whatever they want.
Can they go to war?
Can they go to war? Yes.
Yeah. Can they buy cigarettes? All this thing.
Come on. So they can't make decisions. I mean, like we said, the brain doesn't develop till you're 25.
And that's where I was going to go.
Exactly what I was going to say. I was like trying to steal the microphone to say that because we just said that.
Yeah.
You cannot make those type of decisions. I'm all for what everyone do, but not until you're a freaking adult, right?
Yeah.
How can that happen? How can that be?
Well, there was a day when most parents were confident and they knew that they were in charge. And when a kid said, "I'm Susie," you said, "No, you're not. You're a boy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not being insensitive. I'm just saying you have to direct the ship. And if the ship is not directed by 18, then you have another conversation.
Yeah.
Right. And then you go, okay, well, figure it out. But you get to figure it out now.
And that's not to say like when you're a child, right? So there's some really radicals that say, okay, I have a son. My son is not playing with baby dolls or Barbie dolls or this. Or I have a daughter. She's not playing with trucks and cars. I was not like that. You can play with what you want to play with. If my son wanted to play Barbies and with the girls, he can play Barbies with the girls. If he wants to push a baby doll around in a stroller when he's a little boy, he can do that. I'm not threatened by that. If he wants to, he had sisters.
Yeah.
They had dress up clothes. If he wanted to go put on a princess dress and walk around the house, I'm not going to take that off of him. But if he comes to me and says at a certain age, anything below 25, 26, 20, whatever, you need to think about this.
Yeah.
But a child, a child cannot make that decision. You might feel how you feel, and I'm not going to invalidate those feelings at a young age. If you feel a certain way, cool, you feel that way, but let's play this thing out.
Yeah,
let's play it out.
I think that that's another part of like maturity is when you make decisions that affect things, or when you have to start, decisions that start to affect your reputation. Reputation is almost permanent. It's really difficult to change your reputation if it's a bad one.
Right.
And when you start dealing with things that are like that are lasting,
yes,
it starts to make sense that kids just cannot grapple with that concept because they've not been here long enough. Just like the kids that are working with me, like you're 19. I remember 19 years ago. Yeah, 19 years ago, I was 16. I remember being 16 years old and coming out and and having my license and staying out too late or like working at the pool. I remember being 16 when you were born.
Right.
You know, so like that's all you have and like your whole life. So I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to articulate what I'm thinking. But permanence is difficult when you don't have a long life of consciousness. Like, you know, because how long do you have to when you remember to when you had serious thoughts? Because if like Noah's 19 and, you know, like his serious thoughts didn't start really occurring until he was, I don't know, say he went through puberty at like maybe 13 and then 14, he was like, oh, like this is really important. Like, and I'm going to carry this knowledge on for the rest of my life. You know, that's only 5 years of that and still at a very reduced capacity.
Right.
You know?
And I just feel like because of social media and all the media out there that parents present day are like aware of these issues. So when I was growing up, I specifically remember I always had boys as best friends. Always. I loved playing Hot Wheels. I loved going out riding my big wheel. I love playing castles and dungeons and all this stuff. If my mom would have lived in this day, she would have thought, oh no, I like to wear jeans and t-shirts. I didn't wear princess dresses. I didn't do that. I mean, did I, shut up, Jeff. Did I have Barbies? Yes, I did. But I loved the Hot Wheels, the Hot Wheel track, all the boy stuff because my best friends were boys. Not because I was a certain type of way.
Because you were thirsty.
Oh my.
This is why I like he doesn't have a mic because he can't interrupt us on bullshit.
I know.
Like he used to.
I know. But if my parents were in this day and age, they might have been like, and like kind of like, depending on the parental style. Yeah. There's two parental styles there. One would have been pulled back and been like, wear this freaking princess dress, you're a girl. And then there would have been one parental style that I'm so open and okay, and then pushed me in that way. You want to be a boy? You can be a boy. But I didn't want to be a boy. I was a girl. I knew I was a girl. I felt like a girl, but I liked Hot Wheels. I liked to go ride my big wheel. I liked to pop wheelies on my bicycle, which I still have a concussion knock from. You know what I'm saying? So all this that we just kind of talked about earlier, like the social media and like we can be our own platform, that's made like a huge difference. And I think that whole situation.
Yeah, I think the next time we talk, we're going to have to like have that as a topic. So you have to remember.
I think so too.
Because then we need to like dive in that.
That was one of my topics, but I didn't want to like go there tonight. But that was one of our topics. Okay. It was.
Well, I love.
Because there's guy on social media. I mean, girl, I'll have to show you. I'll have to show you this person.
Okay, you will.
I'm going to send it to you because it's. I have a whole opinion on all that, but that's another podcast, another podcast. But this has been a great podcast.
This was good.
Lala's getting sleepy.
My energy was very tired.
I'm very tired. Today. No, it's great, but we need to do this more often. Like we said before, at least twice a month, every other week.
Absolutely, I'm fully down for that.
And any evening is fine as long as it's after 8.
And if we're like serious, like okay, when I leave, we'll we'll schedule, and then I'll
need
make
that.
sure we can come with topics, and
need
like
that.
we can talk about structure and all that stuff.
I think we need to set a day. I mean, I know how we all feel about that.
I'm fine with
But
it.
I feel like if we say, okay, we're going to do this on every other Tuesday,
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I have to have that.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But this has been a great podcast. I'm so glad you're back. And Jeff,
Remember when we used to do this?
oh, we did.
We
And
did. What did we say?
What did we say?
I don't know.
But we're wiggling our fingers. Oh, and
Okay.
we're going to start videoing these.
Okay.
Okay. Next
Can
time
we
we're video.
just-
That's why we got that over there.
Okay, perfect. Let's just say go team.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Go team!
I love it.
Me too. It's cute.
Okay, bye.